Hello, what is up, everyone? It's Dyson, your boy. I'm back at it again. Today we're talking about draconians in general, alpha draconians. We're even talking about dragons. We're talking about reptoids, zeta reticuli, other EBEs. We're talking about the zeta reticula from zeta reticuli, fucking grays and shit, hybrids. We're talking about all kinds of shit, bro. And females too. Everyone. I invite everyone to actually hear me out with an open mind. Real shit. A being like this is not scientifically impossible. A being like this, especially on another planet, or even on Earth, is not, you know, impossible or implausible, you know? And this could have been the very ancestor or something like this, Could have been the actual ancestor to a lot of these reptilian races, you know? Especially draconians. Draconians pretty much have this spiritual connection to the dragons that they pretty much idolize, right? The dragons that they use in their writings and philosophies and I guess scriptures, you could call them, and whatnot. Their belief systems often involve dragons and serpents. And there's a reason for this, and you see this, I do not agree with this. Look, alpha draconian, disposition, hostile, highly dangerous. And look, reptilian shapeshifters, all this bullshit, it's acting like it's a warning, right? Which it shouldn't be. I really hope it is not. For everyone's sake, I really hope it isn't. I hope it isn't a genuine warning, but I don't believe it is at the moment. So let me get into this. All right. So dragons are literally all over the globe considered to be basically benevolent, intelligent, sometimes even divine deities. They're sometimes even worshipped. They're considered to be wise old souls. Only in like Europe and the West, only in Europe and western parts of the world and a select few others, only there are dragons and draconians considered to be evil and malevolent. I believe that beings have individuality and that there is the capacity for good and bad in just about everything, you know? And I would hope that the entities I've spoken to and that I wish to speak to are not evil entities. I don't believe they are, but Creator help them if they are. I really don't like deceit or dishonor. I do not like dishonor. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about hybrids and some of these other creatures. Let's get into it. This is basically what a reptoid can look like, right? See the difference between this creature and a draconian? A reptoid stands between about 6 and maybe 9 at the most feet, typically. They can stand even around like 5, 6 feet, but they can reach up to like 8, 9 feet. And the draconians can literally reach fucking 25 feet. And they're one of the most ancient, most powerful races to ever exist, so they have my respect for that. Real shit. There's all kinds of alien races in my opinion, and I've had my own personal experiences that you can ask me about. I've even discussed them in past videos to an extent. Many subspecies. So, Alpha Dracos. Let's speak on them. The warriors. What humans would consider the berserker class. Berserker warriors, you feel me? The respectable. The respectable serpents, you feel me? They're respectable in my opinion at least. But anyway, yeah, so alpha draconians, or large carnivorous reptilian dragon-like entities. Remains, evidence, And proof of the existence of Dracos is out there. Just remember that. And just remember that a lot of information and evidence has been covered up. Real shit though. Seriously, a lot of this shit has been covered up by organizations and corporations and whatnot that think they rule the world, and they don't. They don't have a patent on humanity, you know what I mean? And shout out to Silk F, real shit. She's very interesting and very intelligent. Very intelligent. I very much so agree with a lot of her opinions. She seems like a very genuine person if she prefers for me to refer to her as a person. If she refers for me to call her a person, alright, that's what I'll call her. Whatever her preferred name is, I will call her. I assume that is Silk. But anyway, yeah, there's been a lot of cover-ups, and cover-ups are to prevent mass hysteria, honestly. And I don't agree with shit like this, This shit like this makes draconians look bad. It makes them look like they're some hostile bloodsuckers. Which even if they are, they're depicting them as if they're pure evil. Like they just devour everything they see like herbivores. As if they're just these carnivorous Satanists and fucking demonic evil entities. I do respect EBEs, extraterrestrial biological entities. And of course, reptiles, reptilians and draconians, just not actual devils. That's my personal belief. You don't have to agree. I just won't argue with you about it. Period. So let's go get back to the topic at hand. Reptoids in specific have been interbreeding with and experimenting on humans for a very, very long time. And either them or the draconians themselves were involved. Either they or the draconians themselves were involved in the creation of these beings here, these little servant-like minion creatures, right? The so-called greys, right? I've actually met creatures like this, and the female was very respectable and compassionate. I cannot say the same for the male. The male was he seemed very cold and emotionless, lifeless, and hollow. He stared at me while I was in a moment of intimacy with this female. And to be honest, I mean, the fucking male looked a lot like this right here. The female didn't though. She was a little more attractive, and slender and sleek and not like wrinkly and shit. But she also used some kind of mind control or, hormone manipulation, or she used pheromones or something, to fuck with my head. I know that much. I'm pretty positive they fucked with my memory. I can remember everything crystal clear except for the one specific part about reproduction. I remember she wanted my semen. She wanted my seed. I believe it was a Zeta reticula, and she wanted my seed to create a hybrid species. I just don't know exactly why. You know? Real shit. Put that on my dead father. I don't know exactly why. But this is no joke. This is very serious. So back to the topics at hand. So, if a lot of y'all saw being like this, it would cause absolute mass hysteria. A lot of y'all already consider me fucking crazy. Y'all call my experiences and beliefs and even the facts of the matter crazy. So, could you guys actually handle full disclosure? No. I guarantee you could not. A lot of you are weak minded, honestly. You want to call people crazy, you want to label people things because you don't have an open mind like these beings, like these entities here. Real shit. So, yeah, y'all motherfuckers could not handle proof. But anyway, draconians, they can stand between 10 and 25 feet, including the subspecies and, even the subspecies that have since died off. But alphas usually stand between 18 and 25 feet. I'm not sure about the exact height on females, but it's got to be around that height. Maybe slightly smaller. Possibly slightly larger, you know. Maybe there's some sexual dimorphism going on there. Something like that, I don't know. They're winged reptiles. They are winged reptiles, like dragons, you know? Check it out. Yo, I apologize to Silk if she gotta see this, because I know she don't like me smoking with tobacco leaves and whatnot. And apparently she don't like that I'm always high, even though it's what helps me cope and get through, but I respect it, so I apologize if you have to see this, but I got a topic I really want to speak about, you know what I'm saying? So, I love dragons, you know what I'm saying? A lot of you disliked my video where I spoke on something more sentimental to me than any of you could fathom. Listen. Very near and dear to me. All of my weapons are very near and dear to me. A lot of them were left to me by my deceased father, you know? My earthly father. My human father, you know? As a spirit, I am a consciousness that honestly is more ancient than most of you can fathom. That's as deep as I'll go right now. I don't need to get all prideful about it, you know? But, yeah, I really, really love this blade. I really can feel the energy around it, you know? And, it was actually created in Pakistan. The Middle East has had a lot of influence from the, dragon-like beings, you know what I'm saying? Dragons and shit. This clip is from a film called Jupiter Ascending. I won't even speak on the film, but let me say, since these beings are somewhat a representation of the Draconian Empire, I will say that, you know, these beings here are not exactly Draconians, but let me tell you something about Draconians. Some believe they're only surviving as carnivorous savages, you know? Now, obviously, these, if anything, are closer to maybe a cross between reptile species or some kind of distant ancestor, you know? This is just a movie I saw as a kid that, you know, didn't exactly teach me anything, you know, but it showed me concepts I was already familiar with, you know what I mean? As far as draconians and reptoids go. But anyway, yeah. Some people actually believe that the draconians are the only surviving ancestors, evolutionary relatives of the reptoid races and hybrid races, you know. And others believe that it's actually, you know, a different story, that the reptoids evolved on Earth from dinosaur-like creatures like Troodons or Troodons or whatever, you know, and that Draconians are just aliens. And some people want to say they're all just demons, but, you know, there's always going to be fucking people believing in man-made lies and shit from intergalactic law that's older than time itself, you know, that is made of a lot of falsehoods and whatnot, you know. You guys can't even fathom or comprehend a lot of what I'm talking about right now. Some of you can for sure, like I'm sure Silk can, I'm sure a lot of you can, but there's a lot of you that have no idea, you know. You would shit your pants and probably shoot at it being like this if you saw it. What would I do? I would try to communicate with it. On God. I already stated my ground rules, you know. If you delve a little deeper into the whole artificial and biomechanical life thing and the whole creating living and or artificial organisms topic, you know, if you go deeper and delve even more into this topic, you will find out things like this. Subterranean reptoids exist. IMO, believe what you want, but the evidence is all there. Use your head. Once again, I respect what respects me, and I am not just a human. And that's not ego speaking either. Rest in peace to H.R. Geiger, however you want to pronounce his name. Only trust those worthy of your trust. Real shit.